Alright, we should be live. Let me get this dude on the line though. What's going on, dude?
Can you hear me?
Try it again. It kind of cut out a little bit.
Can you hear me now?
Yep, I can hear you now. What's going on, dude?
Awesome.
All right, so what should I call you? I know your name's David, but do you go by something different, like an internet name?
No, yeah, you can just call me David. That's fine.
Okay. And how long have you been playing MSL, my dude?
So the funny thing about that, I've actually been playing for a long time, but that time has been punctuated with several fairly long hiatuses.
So like, what, did you start the game in the beginning when you were like, I'm gonna take a break and then come back and then like, I'm gonna take a break again?
Yeah, pretty much. I think I just kind of kept getting bored.
Fair enough. What brought you back again?
It's just, it's hard to say. I think it's just that this game's really easy to play while I'm doing something else.
That's true. Like, you can just set it for 20 runs and then come back 15 minutes later and be like, okay, we're done.
Oh yeah, it was great during school.
All right. So, looks like you are picking like Odin. So do you have Odins already? I mean, we're going to see that anyways.
Yeah, I have a wood one, but I think... Oh no, I have a wood one and a fire one, but that's it.
All right. So are you hitting like golems B8 or anything?
Yeah, I hit B8 as much as I...
All right. So do you have any questions before we get started? I won't be too hard on you because you're not level 45, but you know, I will.
Thanks.
I will at least hopefully we can start pushing you towards B10. Towards it.
Yeah, that sounds great.
Yeah, because when I first started, I think it took me level 41 to start doing B10. So I try to push people as fast as they can, because the fastest you can get to B10 and get your run times down, not so much the easier the game becomes, but
It'll definitely be easier for me to build my 4 Bulby meme.
your 4 Bulbies.
I'm not actually gonna do that. It's just a stupid idea I've had a couple of times.
Hey, I mean, if you have the money and if you have the time, why not? I could have sworn, like, I don't
really don't.
I don't know if this person's still around, but I remember on like the subreddit like a year ago, someone just had like a whole bunch of team of slimes that were level 60, and everybody's just like, but why? And he's like, why not? I mean, I have nothing else to do.
That's the best answer.
Why not? But let me go to your storage real quick and see if you have anything there. Probably not.
Mostly just things that I Evo 3'd that I'm not using right now, but yeah, I wouldn't dissuade you from looking.
Okay, I see a wood miho.
Yep.
I'm glad that you deposit Fire Gemini. I need to make a video on that because I got a level 61.
Yeah, actually,
Yeah.
You might be interested to hear this. The entire reason why my Fire Gemini is in storage is because...
It's because what? Your mic kind of like clipped it hard.
Sorry about that. The reason my Gemini's there is because of you.
Well, oh, because I said that she's garbage.
Yeah, pretty much. It was, I don't remember when, but a while ago I was watching one of your streams, and I actually asked in the chat, hey, is Gemini any good? And then you just immediately said, yeah, no.
Yeah.
So I just thought, yeah, I'll Evo 3 this one and then just drop it like it.
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong, man. Some good gems, but I got mine up level 60. I still have her. I just need to show her off one day, but I do regret. I do have regrets in my life. And that is one of them. But you do have a water Sandwraith. He's not too bad. He's not too bad for Titan. Not so much
Cool.
Titans, but at least Colossus. But
All right.
other than that, nothing really extraordinary here. So, I mean, you could definitely hold on to them because you have plenty of storage. And Daryl said that Fire Gemini is okay. Daryl. She's not. She's not. I don't know when because of other account reviews, but she needs to be exposed for the non-goodness that she is. But anyways, David, I hope your day is going all right.
I narrowly avoided having to get a root canal, so yeah, it's going awesome actually.
Oh gosh. Oh gosh. Hey, can you like binarily avoid so you're good? The tooth's good? You don't have to worry about it at all as
Yeah,
long as you
tooth's pretty much fine. The dentist is still a tiny bit worried, but he's just gonna watch it for right.
Yeah, man, cuz hey, I know root canals are expensive, but I tell dudes at work sometimes, like, if you got to get a root canal, dude, I'd rather just get a root canal than get my tooth pulled. Like, don't get your teeth pulled
Same.
if you don't have to. They don't come
Same.
back.
Yeah, I totally agree. And if things were really gonna take a turn for the worst, I definitely wanted to get this done before I go to Korea.
Before you go to Korea?
Yeah.
What, are you like military or something?
No. No. It's a teaching job.
Oh, gotcha. Hey, they pay pretty well, don't they? Well, not well, but they pay enough to vouch going over there.
Yeah, pretty much.
Sounds like an interesting type of thing. What do you teach?
English.
Really? Really?
I mean, yeah.
Well, believe it or not, you know, I'm sure you come across it every day that even Americans, you're like, I don't. How do you not succeed at this?
Yeah, that's very true. That's very, very true.
But let's go ahead and check out your mon. So you have a light, not Nike, light Victoria. We're gonna call her light Victoria.
Not yet.
We'll call her what she is.
I'm one Victoria away from getting her to be.
And you do have her in triple defense. No complaints there. I mean, you're working towards her. Obviously, you're going to try and get her to 60, I'm assuming, right?
Oh, for sure.
So, I mean, at this point in time, that's all you can do, man. That's all you can do. She needs at least 9k defense minimum for B10. But if you get her gems up to plus 12, plus 15 if you have to, and she's Evo 3, and I do see percent gems anyways, that should be easily doable.
Great.
And she'll be your light tank possibly. And then you have this light Miho. Did you just pick her up, or are you gonna invest into her as well?
I think I got her during the Miho rebirth. I'll probably invest in her, but she's not high on my priority list right.
Yep, understandable. Again, HP defense, or HP defense. You can aim for high resist on her, but you are correct. I wouldn't even worry about PvP and stuff right now because you need the money and the gems to do it.
Oh yeah.
And then light fib, seal and stun. 80. He's not bad, but you do have Miho. You might end up pulling better mons anyways. So yep, just keep him around as you have him. You have a light Rocky? You're working on light Shiva?
No. I just got that.
You just got him, but it's through fusion, isn't it?
Yeah, I did get him through fusion. I should just be perfectly honest. There was a time when I was kind of gunning for Shiva, but then I just thought, you know what? Nah, I don't really want to do that. Fusion seems like kind of a pain.
Very, very time consuming. and very costly. It's worth doing once you get further in the game. If you're bored, it gave me something to do. But yeah, like Light Shiva isn't the meta anymore. He's not bad, but like I don't even know how the meta was before with Light Shiva, because I wasn't even playing then. But by the time I started playing, he was like on his way out. So he's more like a, hey, I achieved this type deal than anything else. But I mean,
yeah, that makes sense.
But I mean, it give you something to do. Then you just have a whole bunch of holy gleams over here. Are you waiting for something? Are you waiting for like your Light Odin or something?
Yeah, I'm holding out for Odin.
All right. Are you getting these through what, the daily login?
Daily login, monthly missions, and I think I usually no, I don't get high enough in Tower of Chaos to get one from that. But yeah, it's wherever I can get them.
Okay, nothing wrong with that. You do got 3, so I would hold on to those until you get Light Odin, and whatever else comes across, I mean, feel free to use it. Obviously, don't use it on Nat 3s, but Nat 4s is up to you. It's up to you. Dudes on Reddit and maybe some here will even tell you never use it on a Nat 4, only use it on a Nat 5. But if that Nat 4 helps you progress through the game and you're saving it for a Nat 5 you're never gonna pull, what's the point?
That's a very strong argument.
What's the point? I mean, I definitely gleamed up some Nat 4s when I began. Do I regret it till this day? No. Look where I'm at. Does it change anything at all? Maybe I could have Evo 2'd another Nat 5, but other than that, no. Like, dudes are too serious, because at the end of the day, this is just a video game.
Yeah, it's just like the trap in all those RPGs that people fall into all the time, where like, you know, you want to save all the stat boosting items, but then you just never use them. So you come to the end of the game and you got 100 different items that are going to boost your stats, and no one's used them, so they haven't actually done anything good for any.
Exactly. I'm just like, I know it's the internet. Of course it's the internet, and of course it's also Reddit, but still, like, at the end of the day, do you like not sleep well knowing that someone uses a gleam on a fire succubus? Like, does that like hurt you inside or something? Like,
someone gleamed a Gatito and now I have PTSD.
Hey, I've seen like a drunk post on Reddit, and someone said they got like plastered and they woke up the next morning and they were like 3 gleams into like a slime, and it was too late. They're like, I don't even know how this happened. Like, I got plastered the night before when I was playing MSO, and then I woke up to this.
That sucks.
Rest in peace. Alright, and then you have your Dark Misha over here. Looks like you're just playing around with it for right now.
Yeah.
And
I'm fully prepared to rip off any one of those gems if I really think something else needs them.
yeah, no square slot on him, but intuition is fine. Yeah, I mean, he's pretty fun. I don't know how well he fares in PvP, because I know maybe like a year ago when he first came out and he got his buff, dudes were like loving him. And I do believe there's like a video of him soloing Light Colossus, so in the future, if you're having a difficult time with Light Colossus, definitely hold on to him. I mean, he might need like a leech set or something, but if he can solo, that's just...
I'll make it work.
Yeah, that's just freaking hit auto, and I'm gonna go grab a drink. And you did get a Dark Miho, which is great. And triple HP. Nothing wrong with her at the moment. Get her booked up when you can. Obviously, is that priority number 1? No, but you did get a Dark Miho, which grats, man, because when I first began, it was like the 2nd anniversary, and it was like the last month of like August or September. It was like the last Miho rebirth, which was like 2 years ago now. And I was just so noob, I couldn't even get one. I was like, I don't even know what rebirth is. I have I have a Candling and a Fire Miho and a level 17 Lat. I can't do this. Yeah, it took that long. But
yeah, honestly, this was just I just got lucky.
yeah, you did, dude. Crit rate, attack, HP. Fine. I'm gonna go ahead. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm sure you've seen other streams. I am a big fan of Dark Fib. Dark Fib is just the man.
So I've heard.
He gets the job done. The dude. I use my Dark Fib everywhere, man. They should have like a usage counter or like a usage by hour thing of mons, and my Dark Fib's gonna be pretty high up there, man.
That would actually be pretty cool.
It'd be pretty cool, but also pretty bad because it'd be like, damn, I have like 2,000 hours playing with Mona. Like, I mean, it is auto, but 2,000 hours. What am I doing with my life right now? You know what? I set it on auto for 20, and I came back like 2 years later, so it doesn't count. It doesn't count.
I mean, hey, you know what? Like, it's the kind of the nice things about running it on auto. I played this game for countless hours running everything on auto, and in that time, I got a teaching certificate.
Hey, it don't get no better than that, dude.
Yeah, no kidding.
When you make progress in IRL and on MSL at the same time, and it's not like sucking away your life, nothing wrong with that. Definitely build him up in the future.
What is he like particularly good for? Like what would he immediately help me out?
Depending on your other mons, he could be very helpful story wise for you. I do use mine in Tower of Chaos. You could use him in PvP as well, and if you're getting in clan versus clan, you can use him there. Not really, I wouldn't say he's really a good Titans mon, but shouldn't worry about Titans either because you need the mons to do that. You can still run it to get like the clan points for like Siegfrieds and gems and stuff like that, but not a predominant focus.
I do run it every chance I get, just like usually I just do, obviously my runs aren't spectacular, but I'll just do one just to be like, hey, yeah, let's just see what I can do, and then I just throw all my trash at the other attempts just to get something.
Yeah. I mean, you're still getting points for Siegfried, which if you don't have another farmer, Fire Siegfried even at Evo 2 is pretty good. You could always use those towards the next Striker rebirth, or whenever you do Colossus, you have those saved up for maybe a Dark Sig or Light Sig. Like, it's just more beneficial than it is hurting you to not do it, in my opinion, if you're interested in those type of things.
I actually do really enjoy it.
But he could definitely help you pretty much everywhere right now. Then you do have a Dark Gatito, no square slot on him. It's not the end of the world. No square slot. Did you get any more Gatitos? I know you have like a light Gatito in storage, but what about your soul stones for Gatito?
I didn't get enough souls. I have like 17 soul stones left over. I don't have enough to pull another one. I have a wood one and a water one, I think, also.
You could, in the future, gleam them up. I don't know when Gatito's returning. This is like his third time within a year. Not even a year, so he might not return for a while.
Yeah, that's kind of dissuading me. I'm just worried I'm gonna be thinking that for the next year, and the Gatitos are never gonna come around, and I'm gonna be feeling like a fool.
I would say if you can get him near max crit rate on an intuition set with some good subs, is that difficult? Yes, it's fairly difficult to get more than maybe a gem or two, in my opinion, with good crit subs, but it's definitely possible. Especially with you just breaking into stuff. If you can get him to near max crit on an intuition set, you could run him with like a crit lead to make up for the lack of crit on him. And if you can do that, then in my opinion, and you have nothing else to gleam up, I would say gleam the other two. I would say do it.
Yep.
If you can get that, do it. Like right now, not really, but if you can do that, do it, because dude's one of a kind. Like, the dude hits like no other. He's very, very glassy, but his 5-star is single target, and when he crits, because of the hunter, it's just there's no replacement for Gatito, man. But he's more, I would say he's more not in game, but he's more late game. He's not really a farming mon. You don't use him for farming. You use him to nuke targets.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And then you got Dark Bulby over here. I'm sure you have plans for her in the future, maybe? Or you just got her to Evo 3?
I mean, I had so many Bulbies lying around, why not?
That's true. Her uses, again, I would say more Titans than anything, and maybe Colossus. So you could build her in the future with damage. So, HP attack. Again, put her in intuition. Aim for as high as crit as possible. She doesn't have a square slot. She doesn't technically need a square slot. Will people tell you to build her with crit? Of course, because she's a dark attacker. But in the event that you don't have crit on her, is it the end of the world? No. As long as she can do exposed weakness number 1, her main role is fulfilled.
Great.
And then you got Wolf over here. I'm assuming you're just building him for gems, hopefully.
Yeah.
Then the other two, not even worth mentioning.
Yeah.
Hey Nathan, what's going on, dude? We got David up in here.
Sup?
Then you have a Wood Arthur. HP Siphon and stun. Attack, crit rate. Okay. Did you change your gems?
Change my gems?
Have you been tuning into the live streams? I got to make sure of something over here. Dudes that be rocking some flat gem action and stuff.
I might have forgotten what his gems are. I've had him for a while.
He's on attack crit rate, but I'm just surprised that it's fine. It's fine, man.
Good.
And I'm fine, Nathan. David, how are you? Nathan's asking.
Well, Nathan, I appreciate that. I'm doing pretty well.
He's definitely fine. Where do you use your Wood Arthur at?
Everywhere.
One of your... No, it looks like you got some other Nat 5s, but...
Wood Arthur, I think, was my first Nat 5. He's kind of been the backbone of my entire account for pretty much the entire time I've played.
Understandable. Okay. And then you have a not light Kokomaru. I'm having problems again. Wood Kokomaru. Defense, HP. You use him, what, just for CC?
Yeah. I sometimes throw him. Sometimes I throw together like a hyper offense all wood team, and I put him in the lead, and then just the stun.
Okay. If you're using him and he works, his gems are fine. Obviously get them up to higher stars when you can, but if you use him a lot, get him booked up so he gets the extra 10% on his stun, and then he's okay.
Awesome.
Then you got Wood Seether over here, double sap, HP, defense, HP. Again, that's fine. Wood Seether's job is to not die and do sap, and you got both those criteria. Are you using it anywhere currently, or do you have plans in the future?
I sometimes run it in like the water elemental dungeon, or if I have to run B7, I usually throw it in there. Um, yeah. Otherwise, I think I had a crazy idea some time ago to keep it around if I might want to use it for B10, but other than that, I don't use it that much.
Yeah, nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. I mean, Fire Purse and Wet Miho even and Artemis have more attack, but sap scales off HP and not their base attack, so it might slow your runs down by a couple seconds, and it's not the end of the world, as some might tell you. Defense. Do you use your wood Mona over here?
Yeah, sometimes, but I'm wondering if maybe she doesn't really impress me.
Yeah. I wouldn't say she's worth any further investment, in my opinion. You have Light Miho. Light Miho automatically just triumphs her in every way. Especially people running like a light comp. Dark comp not so much, but a light comp in PvP. She takes a while to kill because of stupid Fearless Taunt if you don't have anyone to defense down her. And Boltwing. Any hopes for Boltwing, or are you just keeping him around for now?
I don't know. I've been watching the streams. I know Wood Boltwing is stupid flimsy.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm so enamored with it because it was the first legendary encounter I had, and it was a variant, and I thought that was awesome.
Haha. They got you.
Yeah, I mean I also used to think its leader skill was cool, and now I think it's kind of lame. I still use it sometimes if I need an extra wood attacker, but nah, I don't know if I really have any big plans for it.
Yeah, nothing wrong with that. Eventually, you'll get more Boltwings, and mine just sit there. He's not bad, but Evo 2 Nat 5 is obviously a lot easier to build, and they triumph him already. That's his main problem. Like, your Wood Valk, just null and void Boltwing altogether. Boltwing's done. He's null and void now. He doesn't exist anymore.
Yep, that sounds about right.
And Wood Hades, you do have a variant one, which is pretty snazzy. I would say, do you have any plans on him, or are you going to use him?
Based on what I had read, I was planning on getting him to Evo 2 and feeding him to a water one if I ever got it.
Okay, nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that, especially with Fire Draka being the meta, and then Fire Draka returning. There's going to be probably a lot more players with Draka, even more so than now, and Wood teams will be cussing. And then you got your Wood Shiva over here. I'm assuming that you use him.
Yeah, I do.
So you have crit rate, attack, defense. Did you mean to do that, or are you just kind of like filling in his slots for now?
I just filled in his slots. It was a while ago that I gymmed him up, and I haven't really revisited it with anything better since then.
Okay.
And yeah, like this would have been at a time when I was really dead set on making sure I had complete sets.
Mm-hmm.
So I would just really wanted all Valor on him.
Okay. Suggestion would be just switch his crit rate gem with attack gem for now. Obviously get better gems on him, but do you use him in B7?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, so he is Evo 2. So I would do that for right now. You can hold off on getting him to 60. Maybe get him to 60 eventually, but if we can kind of have you run B7 just enough for you to get gemmed up for B10, then you can worry about investing into him after, maybe for like a Dragons team, but you won't be spending all your resources on him at the moment, which is good because you get better gems in B10. So
awesome.
Something we can keep in mind. Then Wood Odin, you're gonna feed her, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
And you've got Zubaji, Sea Striker. you do Titans, right? That's what you said.
Yeah, I do.
Definitely worth the investment. I know Luca, legendary hero Luca says run triple attack on her. You can try that out. I have mine on HP attack. Get her to Evo 2 when you can. Not priority number 1, and she should be solid. I mean, you'll have at least a decent Wood Sea Striker.
Awesome.
Any plans for your Wood Valk?
No, actually, I got that one a while ago, and then I kind of didn't know what to do with it.
Well, you could build her one of two ways. You could build her more offensively or defensively. Again, that's more towards PvP. Your biggest issue is not going to be gleams. It's going to be gems. So I would just keep her on the back burner. Keep her in your mind for now of a potential wood mon for PvP. I mean, there is Fire Draka, but to people that don't have Fire Draka or choose not to run him in PvP, she can definitely be annoying. So I would just marinate with her right now.
Couldn't she potentially counter the Fire Draka's counters?
What do you mean? Like
if someone's running water monsters to contend with the Draka,
yeah,
gonna be a bunch of those, right?
Yeah.
So then they're gonna be weak to a wood monster. So then I could run the Wood Valkyrie to counter those, because people would be running those to counter the Draka.
I suppose in theory, yes. In theory, I mean, Draka's not like top OG, but he is easily accessible and easy to get up there. So the people that run that, I mean, they're gonna run a dark type maybe anyways that hits like a truck. So in theory, I guess that could work depending on the situation. It could change. I'm not a PvP expert.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I'm not a PvP expert. I do know that like Water Shiva, after they buffed him, he's now like the Draka counter. Just running 1 or 2 water mons. But the only issue with Wood Valk is, unless you have her on like triple attack on like Ruin or something crazy, her damage really isn't enough to carry you through PvP.
Yeah, I was afraid of that.
She can do damage and she can heal, because I have one at Evo 3, but it's just not enough. Like, it's just not satisfying enough. Like, okay, she's not gonna die, but she's gonna be beating this dude until, you know, the earth ends. So what do I do here? But I mean, you could keep that in mind. Don't worry about her right now, though. There's other investments needed first. Any plans for your Wood Shinobi?
Yeah, it's kind of another the same story. I got him and I just don't know what to do with him.
Alright, he does have SP Siphon and Stun. Stun won't be very useful, but we could wait. Hopefully you pull a Fire Shinobi eventually. I don't have one yet, which, you know, profound sadness, but you can hold off on him.
You gonna use the 5-star selector to get a Fire Shinobi?
I mean, if they allow me, I would definitely do it, because I don't have him as a Fire Sea Striker. I have my Wukong and maybe one other dude. I can't remember off the top of my head, but if they allow me to do it, then yeah, I'm definitely going for any Sea Striker they let us choose. But
great.
Hold off on him for now, because like you did mention, that Nat 5 selection card, you could get a Fire Shinobi if you wanted to, or more importantly, you could just save him right now for a potential Colossus Mon. I think it's... Hold on. Wood Colossus that you need SP Siphon on. SP Siphon one of the minions, and you just need him there just to do SP Siphon, so minimum investment, and he could be part of one of the teams to do Wood Colossus with in the future.
Great.
Oh man, what are you doing with this Wood Kiki? What are you doing?
Yeah, I wish I had a better answer.
It's okay. You're only level 40. It's okay. You want to know why I'm asking you this?
I guess. Sure, you can tell.
It's not so much her gems. She does need crit rate for her gems, but petrification, in my opinion, I could totally be wrong about this, but I find petrification absolutely useless. Just, it's good for stalling, which again, only water purse I would say it's okay on, but any other mon is just a waste of time because you can petrify a mon, but you can't nuke them if you petrify them. Like there's no benefit of you petrifying them other than to give yourself another turn.
Yeah.
So I would just
sounds right.
Yeah, let it go, man. Let her go. You'll thank me later. I mean, you might not even touch her anyways. You might have like built her a while ago and been like, why do I still have this?
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Wood Leo, looks like you almost got him to Evo 3. Good debuffer. You can use him in dragons, and you can also, of course, use him in golems. He might slow your time down a little bit though because of his defense down being single target. Not that big of a deal, especially on auto. It might, cost you 10 seconds. Not even 10 seconds. Not a big deal, but definitely worth it. But I would run him HP defense, or HP defense. It's really up to you. Just remember, he's not there to do damage. So if you feel like his DPS sucks, that is kind of how it's supposed to be.
Yeah, that's pretty much what I figured.
You were correct. And hey, Owen, what's going on, dude? And any plans for a new? Is this one of your first ones? You do have.
Yeah, I've managed to accrue precious few of those. So I have a wood one and a fire one, and I'm just holding on to both of them. I really don't know what either of them would be useful for, but I don't want to be super quick to throw them away.
Yeah. Beers, Rob. I forgot to mention that. In my opinion, the most useful out of the news would be the wood one because it's kind of difficult to get wood attackers in the game. Good wood attackers. I mean, we had Incubus not too long ago, and it seems like they've been adding in more wood attackers, but it can't hurt having a solid wood attacker. So he's not worth the glames, but even Evo 2 built properly, he should be quite okay to have. So I would definitely invest into the wood one first, in my opinion.
Okay, great.
Any plans for your wood banshee?
No. Not yet.
You do have Shiva. You do have Arthur. You could use Wood Valk. You may or may not need her in the future because you do have your Wood Leo as well with the defense down. So,
but is this defense down all target instead of single target?
her defense down, yeah, it's for everyone.
Great.
Just depends if you want to get her to Evo 3 or not. Like Master Odin's saying, for farming in B7. But my thing is, how long will you be farming B7 for before your investment? I mean, I guess you could use her in dragons as well. So maybe the investment will be worth it in the end.
And I could always throw her in against a water titan if I really wanted to.
Yeah. Any plans for your wood lupin?
No.
Yeah, if you can't get him to Evo 3, not really worth it. What about your wood Sura?
I think I'm just trying to evolve that one so I can feed it to my fire one.
Okay, so you're working on the fire one?
Yeah.
Okay, nothing wrong with that. What about Loki, your Kira? Or that's pretty much it. Loki or Kira?
Loki also evolving to feed it to the fire one. Kira, Yeah, probably just gonna evolve it and feed it to the fire one.
Okay, nothing wrong with that. And I do see.
I'm feeding wood to the fire.
I get it. I get it. It looks like you are working on a wood Mowgli as well. I see her over here, hidden.
Yep. I have a water one too.
Definitely worth it. Mowgli. I do hope Mowgli comes back, even if she's the next rebirth mon. I wouldn't hate, man, because I underestimated Mowgli. If you need a solid mon, you have her right here. You have
awesome.
her right here. David, are you trolling the chat?
Am I trolling the chat?
Yes.
Well, I mean, yeah. I
Bless their
absolutely am.
hearts.
So Medusa's the rebirth mod.
Bless their hearts. Alright, you have your water Mona, HP attack. No problems there. You're working on books for her. It looks like you just ran out. Not a big deal either.
I did, yeah.
She's fine.
Yeah, actually, about that, I was wanting to ask this. Do you think it would be a good idea to spend my crystals on skill books, or is that just is that just a waste?
What, from the crystal shop?
Yeah.
On which which skill books?
Yeah, I mean, it costs 9 crystals to get a 3-star skill book, and sure, there's certainly no guarantee I'd get a Mona one ever, but I have like 470. So I could roll that a lot. I could probably get a couple, and whatever I don't get, I could try and fuse into more skill books, because otherwise I don't really know what other practical things I could do to get skill books.
Skill books you just get from running the story stages. You'll get a whole bunch of Nat 3 skill books. You'll eventually have more Mona books than you could ever use. You do get some Nat 4 books, I think, from maybe killing / capturing legendary mines. Maybe it's just killing them now. And you do get a Nat 4 book from doing Colossus in the future every week as well. The only way I would ever spend crystals, if you were going to do skill books, would probably be for Nat 5s. Luca did mention...
Yeah, okay.
Luca did mention for 4-star skill books, but the problem with the Nat 5 book is... Number 1, it's random, so you have no control over it. And if you're going to fully book a Nat 5, in terms of crystals, like that's an awful amount of crystals to use for something so based on RNG.
That's 3,000 minimum, and that would of course be assuming I would get 10 of the exact ones I need, which is pretty much impossible. Ergo, I'd probably wind up spending like 50,000.
Yeah, and you get, I think, like 30 crystals.
That many crystals.
You get 30 crystals, I think, per pull. I mean, I think for maybe September or something, they do like double crystals. But even still, if you get 30 per 10 pull, I mean, holy crap.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
The only things I would recommend using crystals for, what I just use them for is, of course, the gleam every month when you get more Astro Gems, or you ever get to that point. Definitely get the 3 random gleams per month. And if you have any left over, I just recently been doing this because I've been lazy, but I'll go over here and maybe pop like a legendary dark egg or something if I'm out of gleams for the month, because it goes on like a month cooldown afterwards. It'll be like, you can't get this until July 1st, buddy. But other than that, I personally don't use crystals for skill books. And also what Massacre said, don't do the high light and dark egg for whatever how many crystals. So the one that gives you a 3-star to 5-star, because you're gonna spend all them crystals and you're gonna get you 3 light wolves, maybe even a Cosmo
or a penguin.
There you go, man. Yes, even a penguin. And you have water siren over here. HP recovery. I'm assuming that you use her because you have her at level 60.
Yep. I used her a lot.
just book her up when you can to help increase her heals, and she's okay. And then you do have a Water Artemis, which is great. HP defense. Yep. You have her more defensively than offensively. Is she dying somewhere?
No, I just did that because I don't remember where, but I just read somewhere that was like the best way to do it, and yeah, it doesn't seem like that was actually correct.
All right, so it's more dependent on the mon type, in my opinion, how you should gem them usually. In Wood Sealer's case, because he's a tank type, even if you built him with damage, it wouldn't benefit you at all. And even though sap does scale off HP, I've personally find running Artemis and Persephone with HP attack is way more beneficial than HP defense or HP defense, for the simple fact that if they're not dying, there's no benefit towards you having more than a HP or defense gem on them. Like there's no benefit at all. You survive or you survive. And with the attack gems, the theory is, yes, it'll raise their base attack up, which could potentially speed up runs more because they're already surviving. So we could try to give them a little bit more DPS along with their sap to kind of lower run times if possible.
All right.
So I mean, you don't have to do it. If you switch this out and she's dying, throw it back on it. If you want to keep it like this, you can. It doesn't hurt anything, but her typing is more supportive towards attack than it would be just survivability. If that makes any sense.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And you have your Waterlat over here. Do you use him anymore?
Nah, not really. I'm kind of phasing him out of a lot of things.
You could use him in Titans one day. That's pretty much it. Then you have Water Fib. Adrenaline and Stun. You use him at all?
Yeah, sometimes. But when I got Artemis, I kind of started I kind of started using her instead in B8, which was primarily where I used my Fibian.
There's definitely nothing wrong with him, but you can tell already that the game floods you with like strong or at least decent Watermons. So yeah, investing into him even at this point for you is like, I don't need him. I don't need him.
Yeah.
And then you have Water Vampire at Evo 3. You actually beat me getting a Vampire to Evo 3. Congrats, man. You've done it.
I do what I can.
He does have Predator. Do you use him at B8?
I do, actually. I was really excited that when I finally got him to Evo 3 because I thought, oh yeah, this is awesome. Now I'm going to have a super strong attacker to get me through even faster in B8. But yeah, he hasn't impressed me that much, and I got my second Mona, so I might not actually be using him for that much longer.
Yeah, I mean, if he works, man, he works. But his gems are fine. I don't have any. I don't have any complaints about his gems. And then you have Water Hohenheim. Looks like you're trying to get her to Evo 3 if you can.
Yeah, she's at 2.1 right now because I pulled 2 water hose. Maybe I should rephrase that. Yeah, I definitely meant Water Hohenheims.
Water hose. You do have her on a ruin set. You have her built more defensively.
I gotta stop reading these reviews, man. They're telling me I gotta do stuff like this, but
You mean like the
I
actual
mean,
in-game reviews?
yeah,
Garbage.
I know. Well, I know. I couldn't find. I scoured the internet for more information on Hohenheim and found nothing.
Nothing. I have a video of Hohenheim, man. What is
Yeah,
this?
this was before
Oh.
the Hohenheim video. I think this was
Oh.
before I even knew your channel existed.
Gotcha. Yep. It's not that big, man. I'm not hurt. I'm not offended. But I mean, I guess if you were running her defensively, this would be okay. But she does have that battle rush, anyways, which does heal her. I don't really have a recommendation for her personally. I mean, I do have one. Do I use her? Hell to the no. But that's because I don't really need mons with crit rate, so I can't. This is one of the mons that I just can't give advice for. I can't tell you if she's wrong or right. Like, maybe someone in chat can help you, but I can't, man. I just don't know. I just don't know.
Yeah, I've been running her in B8 a lot recently, and she's great. But maybe I'm wrong in this. Her animation just seems really slow.
Is she AoE?
Yeah, her second skill is an AoE skill.
Okay.
And it's great. It does what I need it to do. It's out there for a long time.
Gotcha. So definitely not good with fast clear times. And I mean, the problem I do have with her is her 5-star skill. That's the reason why I don't use her. Because crit rate up, like, number one, she's a watermon. And of course you can use her other places. But instead of me bringing a mon that boosts crit for mons that I know don't have max crit, why not just run a crit lead on that team and just destroy having to set up for a 5-star skill to offset that for 2 turns versus the entire match?
You make a lot of sense.
Like, it would work if crit rate was like this crazy hard thing to get. I mean, don't get me wrong, it is hard to get max crit, but is it that hard? No. That's why I'm just like, but why? Why would you do this?
Yeah.
Not you building her, but like 433.
Yeah.
Why would you do this?
Yeah. Maybe I could just hold out hope that they might change it.
Yeah, I would just. Yeah, you have our Evo 2 already. I mean, you are invested 1 in, but I would just hold off because Battle Rush is fine. I have no problems with her having Battle Rush. It's just her crit rate up is just like, by the time that I need this, I'm better off just getting the correct gems for the mon and making this 5-star skill this useless.
Yeah, it's pretty silly.
And you have Wood Nightmare over here. Do you have any? I said Wood Nightmare. Water Nightmare. I'm having elemental issues. I don't know why. HP defense. HP. Her gems are fine. Do you have any plans for her?
Yeah, I usually use her in Tower of Chaos. There was obviously I don't get that far in it, but I remember there was a point not long ago when I was trying to get through, and there was one boss. I think it was Bast or something.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't get past it, so I took a look at what the boss did, and I thought, oh well, if I seal it, then this should work. So I threw my nightmare in on the team and won.
Okay. Her gems are fine. Obviously, get them up to a higher star when you can. But other than that,
yeah,
she's good to go. You got this triple square master race Mona over here.
Yeah.
Going.
It's awesome.
100% full glass. No problems with her either. Just get her to 60 when you can.
For sure.
Any plans for your water Merlin?
No, not really.
The fire one.
If he's I don't know if I should be feeding him or my fire one to each other or to a better Merlin if I ever get one. But I don't know if he's better than Hohenheim. I might try running him in B8.
Depending on what you pull or what you have, he in the future could be a potential mon that you could put on Siphon because of his elemental edge and his morale boost. But I would just say at the moment, continue to gleam him up, keep him at level 50. You could throw gems on him, but I would just hold off, because if you're interested in Titans, if you put a Wood Merlin, then you could just feed him to your Wood Merlin.
All right.
I mean, that's if you're interested in Titans. If you're not interested in Titans, hell, aim to get him to Evo 3 if you want. There's nothing wrong with that. The only problem is all the Merlins are good, but there's some that are slightly better than others. And once you pull those, it's like, well, I don't want to give him up, but it's freaking Merlin. Like, I'm doing it. I'm doing it.
Yeah. All right. That makes sense.
So definitely just hold off on him for now. I would just wait it out. You can replace him in B8 too. Like, you wouldn't really need to use him in B8 because Elemental Edge doesn't benefit at all because they're already weak to water anyways. And normally mons with morale boost and Elemental Edge, they're like they're the siphons of the game.
Yeah. That makes sense.
Oh my god, dude. Do you see who's in chat, man? Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
It's getting hot in here, man. Getting hot in here.
Yeah, man. I wish I would have prepared my account a little better. Oh man, I'm really on blast.
Hey, my gigs. And Wood Merlin isn't nearly impossible to get. I got one after like 3 Merlins.
Well,
actually,
I mean,
hold on. I
don't know what I'm talking about, but I imagine it's not any harder to get than any of the other Nat 5s.
Yes and no. They're probably insinuating that if there's something that you want, you're not going to get it.
Yeah, I understand. Sure, on paper the chance isn't any different, but man, if you're looking for one thing in particular, then all those pulls where it doesn't come are just gonna hurt much harder.
Yeah, I mean, let me see. I did get my Dark Merlin to Evo 3 recently, but I think I have another Merlin or 2 Merlins besides my wood one that I finally pulled. So it took me like 5 Merlins before I got a wood one. So they're kind of right. I mean, there's other guys that I reviewed that already have Merlins already. They have 2 of them, but they're kind of right. They're kind of right.
Okay.
But do you have any? We're not even gonna talk about him. We're not gonna talk about him. He's just a waste of time.
But I like it.
You can build him.
It's a hermit crab.
You can build him to Evo 3. There's nothing wrong with that. I'm just not gonna review him. He's just not worth the time, man. And then you gotta keep it. Neza, what is this? You do have Water Yuki. She does have double sap, but since you already have Water Artemis, is she worth it? No. I mean, I think some dude posted on Reddit a couple months ago that he could solo B10 with a Super Evo Yuki, but it took the dude like 14 minutes. So would I recommend that? No.
I can keep it around for the gems at least.
Yeah, you can keep it around for waifu status.
That too. Yeah, that's also important.
And I love how we're supposed to be having an account review stream for David, but Oh My Gigs is over here stealing my entire chat, man. What is this? And you have Water Kana. Did you have any more Kanas, or is this it?
No, that was it. I remember she was up for rebirth a while ago, and I was like, oh my gosh, look at this cool 4-star. I gotta dump all my 4-stars into getting this. And then I kind of realized that wasn't really working out because I wasn't getting enough to do that successfully, and I was just throwing away a lot of 4-stars that I probably would have been better off keeping. So she's there for now, and is probably going to be there for a while.
Yeah, but you live and learn, man. You live and learn. Jamin is saying that you need to build Water Yuki as soon as possible. That's what Jamin's saying.
All right.
Please don't listen to the words of Jamin. And Banshee, Jean, John, Jack. What do you call her? What do you call her? I need to find out what people call this chick.
John.
John?
Jean. No, not John.
Jean?
Jean. Yes.
Jean. I call her whatever, man.
Yeah,
whatever.
No, I get it. It can be a little confusing because Jean and Jean are both they're both French names. One's masculine, one's feminine, but they're pronounced exactly the same.
Just rest in peace to my pronunciation. Not really much to say there, Banshee. Not really much either. Leo isn't bad. Is he? Build him when you can, I guess. At least for the Astro Gems, that's what I'm doing. But in terms of like overall use, I can't really vouch. I can't really vouch. Then water suck. Do you have a fire succubus?
I do.
Okay. Is she Evo 2? Or is she just the Evo 1 one?
I've got a fire succubus at Evo 2.
Okay.
And I also have an Evo 1.
I would say just continue to build your fire one first and come back to the water one later. Nothing wrong with that.
That's my plan.
Okay, good to go. And you got Shelly, Hunter, Wet Miho. Any of those you have any plans for?
I see the hunters pop up pretty frequently, and maybe that's wrong, but I've seen a hunter pop up a time or two in PvP, and I've thought, hey, you know what? Maybe if I have one ready to go, I can throw one on a team, but I don't know.
Nah, dude, it's a scam.
Well, all right then.
Yeah, Hunter in general, all the hunters I'm going to tell you right now are 100% scams. Like,
great.
Hunter just sucks. He needs either like a stat buff or probably like a stat buff and maybe a skill rework. But Hunter, even with skill books, I mean, he looks cool. He looks awesome. His animations are cool.
Yeah, that's for sure.
In terms of utility and him taking a slot on a PvP team, no. Just no.
So I'm thinking this guy needs a super evolution.
He needs Jesus, man. I don't know if people are religious. I'm not saying that, you have to believe in Christianity, but he needs a God. He needs a God to save him.
I'm with you. I'm with you there. This guy.
If I had to describe
this Van Helsing's never gonna take down Dracula if he doesn't get right with the holy energy.
Yeah. If I had to describe him with any words, it would be gag me with a machete. That's it.
How about gag me with a crossbow?
I think I would prefer the machete because that crossbow ain't gonna do no damage, man.
No damage. He puts it in bolt first and pulls the oh, wait. Okay. No, never mind. I get you.
Yeah. Wet Miho, I would say invest in her, but you do have Water Artemis, so my only recommendation to her is if you want her part of the waifu squad, continue your work here.
Or I just go really crazy and put Persephone, Artemis, Miho, and Yuki all together in Titans and just sap it until it can't move.
The only problem with that, though, is that might work for lower Titans, but it does cap out, and it does cap out pretty darn quick with sap. So even if they have like
Yeah.
18,000 stacks of sap, one Sea Striker goes, hits the dude one time and does like 10 times the damage, and you're just like, oof.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
And then you do have Water Mowgli, which again, splendid mon. I'm glad you invested into them. Definitely nothing wrong with her. Again, you could use her in Dragons later on. She's good in my opinion for Clan versus Clan too. At least I use the Dark one and the Fire one, and I don't regret it, man, because when they hit, they destroy.
I believe it.
Now we got your Fire Mons. Where do you use your Fire Miho at?
A lot of places actually. I usually in story stages. There sometimes I'll be running the scenarios, and like I'll go in a place where there's a lot of wood monsters, and I don't have a lot of fire monsters built up right now, so I just have her in there to take care of them.
Okay. My only complaint is, it's not really a complaint, just a suggestion. But once you get to the point of super evoing her, if you do decide to use her, I would still prioritize super evoing your Dark Miho first over her, and then come to her later. But other than that, if you use her, she's fine, dude. She's fine.
All right. Yeah. All right.
And you have Fire Fib over here with defense down, which I'm assuming is one of his main selling points.
Yes.
6% HP attack. Defense. Hey man, if he works, he works. If you use him a ton, do get him booked up when you can. At least, hopefully, for his 3-star skill to get that defense down rate up. But other than that, he's fine.
Great.
Then you got your Fire Valk. HP, attack, defense. Again, she's fine as well. I have no complaints about her, so I'm assuming that you use her because of that stun.
Yes, I do.
Okay. In the future, there are gonna be mons I do recommend you at least get to level 60. Obviously, she's one of them because she's an Evo 2 Nat 5, but that's not like, it's not game breaking right now. It's not hurting you that much.
Yeah, for sure.
Any plans for your Fire Nightmare?
Boy, I wish.
Yep, you can just, I would just hold off on her for now. If you ever decide to Evo 3 the not the wood one but the water one, just hold off for right now. Hades, I need to do some more research about Curse because there's been a couple of comments left of dudes running cursed comps, so I would say feed him to the water one if you pull a water one. But at least for now, I would say hold off. Hopefully one day when the account reviews slow down, I can do more research and actually do a video seeing if Curse is like 100% viable, or is it like the new meta that everyone was like don't use. But right now I'm just like, just hold off on him. Just keep him like he is. Just keep him like he is.
Yeah, that's my plan.
Then you do have Fire Zoo. I'm assuming that you use her. Hopefully. You're leveling her up right now.
Yeah. Unfortunately, that's about it with her.
Her problem is not that her skills are bad. It's her being single target only. It's kind of a bummer.
Yeah.
At least in a PvE standpoint. So, I mean, if you had nothing else to use in one of the golems, then she's okay to bring in. But as soon as you get something else built up, it's like, goodbye, I'm feeding you to the grass one. And then you looks like you do have some gems on your fire Sanzang. HP, triple HP. She does have adrenaline. Do you have any plans for her, or are you just using her for whatever purposes right now?
All right, sorry about that. I had to step away from the mic for a
Oh.
couple of minutes. What did I miss?
I was asking about your fire Sanzang. Do you have any plans for her?
Not really. No.
Okay, that's fine. And then what about your fire Odin? I'm interested to hear about your fire Odin.
Yeah, no, I don't really have any plans for her either. I was just thinking about, I mean, recently I got the idea that maybe I should just evolve it and feed it to my Light Odin.
Yes and no. Yes and no. If you're interested in maybe Titans or a PvP type team or even clan versus clan, she is a great contender because she is a Nat 5 debuffer with her defense down and attack down being 80% chance for 2 turns for each of those. So number one,
cool.
Yeah, with some good resist and tanky stats, she should not be very, very easy to kill. Is she going to do damage? No, but is she going to survive? Yes. So depending on how you feel about the game at that point after you get your Light Odin, definitely get her to Evo 2, and then I guess just decide if you want to invest in her by then. Me personally, I did have a Fire Odin before I got my Light Odin, but I kept her because you can't go wrong with a Nat 5 debuffer. Like, especially with her stats, you can't go wrong with that. I did end up pulling some more Odins in the future because Evo 2 Light Odin can do Golems B10 just fine. She doesn't need to be Evo 3.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's really up to you to decide if you want to feed her. Get her to Evo 2 for right now, but I would just hold off on it. Like, I would just hold off because yes, you can get another one. I did get another one recently, but I've been playing for like 2 years, so it took me like a year to get another one. So it's really, it just depends. If you're willing to sacrifice her now and hopefully get her again, or sacrifice her now and never get her again. But it's just dependent on the content you're doing.
Yeah. I'll keep. I won't be so quick to get rid of her.
And then you do have Fire Merlin. Fire Merlin, again, just like the Water Merlin, not bad at all. Definitely not bad at all. It's just that if you get into Titans and you pull a Wood Merlin, he's gone. Like, you're like, goodbye. And not to mention, his morale boost is great, but hopefully you could pull some more Fire Mons to help offset him having Hunter and all that. So, I mean, that's the only problem. As soon as you get another Odin, it's like, oh my goodness, goodbye. You got a Evo 2 Loki. Any plans for him besides, oh yeah, are you going to feed him?
No, I'm gonna feed the wood one.
Okay, you do have him at Evo 2. You could use him as a sapper. I mean, is he gonna out sap Water Artemis? I'm pretty sure it looks like their percentages might be pretty similar. Artemis might have him beat on her 5-star skill by like 20% for her chance to inflict it, but stat damage is the same, so it's just a matter of you using who you want to use. I mean, I don't.
Well, I'm definitely not.
It doesn't matter. As long as you got a sapper or 2 sappers even, have at it, dude.
Yeah.
Then you do have a Fire Suck. The only problem is she doesn't have a square slot.
Yeah.
Oof. Again, just like I mentioned an hour ago with Dark Gatito, you can still put her in Intuition. and aim to get her crit rate as max as possible. But it might just be easier in the long run to just keep her at Evo 2. Work on the other one that you had with a square slot and just Evo 3 that one in the future.
The other one has a square slot?
I'm not for sure. I'm just assuming it does. Where's she at?
Alright, well, if she does, then
Okay, yeah,
I'll
she does
do
have a
that.
square slot. She does.
Awesome.
So yeah, work on her because both of her moves are based off crit. So if she doesn't crit, she's useless. Elio.
Yeah, that checks out.
Elio, 2019. If she doesn't crit, if they don't crit, they're useless. But yeah, definitely build her with a square. Get an Evo 3 when you can. You of course can use her in Dragons B9. You can use her in Golden's B10. You can even use her in the later Dragons because she does have a Super Evo 2. But at least gemming her wise, I do recommend crit rate, HP, attack. I don't recommend crit rate, attack. Because even at Super Evo, I find that she's still just like too squishy to not have an HP gem on her without her dying or getting close to dying.
Alright.
So do keep that in mind. And then you do have a triple square master race Kira. You could do HP defense. Not really a big deal. I mean, build her when you can, but she's alright. And Badass Panda is saying Fire Succubus can go glass with a good HP trinket. That's something you could think about too. I haven't played with trinkets, unfortunately, so
yeah, it almost seems like no one's doing them.
Because Expedition, you have to spend, you have to spend crystals to get the best Fortnium or whatever it is to do the expedition to get the best material to make the 6-star trinket, which I'm just like, it's all RNG based. Like I don't want to do this. Like I don't. But with the update, we do get to do, I think, 3 pulls for trinkets now every day. So hopefully we can get 6 stars like that because I don't want to invest in trinkets at all.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And look, even Badass Panda is saying Fortnium does nothing. That's how much I know about trinkets, man. That's how much I know. I don't even have one mon with full 6-star trinkets, dude.
Same.
Do you have any plans for your fire Yaksha?
I think I did once, but not really anymore.
Alright, not a problem. You are getting her to Evo 3 because you're like Evo 2.2 in right now.
Yeah.
I have no words. Finished getting her to Evo 3. Then we have your moneymaker over here, Fire Sura, which you're aiming to get to Evo 3 as well. You got 2 books for him as well. And he morale boost and adrenaline, so he gives SP to himself and then adrenaline to heal the whole entire squad. In terms of uses, if Fire Cupid didn't exist, I would say run him, but
Well, I don't have a Fire Cupid.
Not yet. He's coming. If you never get a Fire Cupid, then run him. You could run him in B9. There's nothing wrong with running him in B9, and you can also run him in Dragons if you do choose to invest in him. So no worries there either. So, and he doesn't need crit, even though he has a crit square slot, so no biggie. And grants 100% chance to restore 20% of allies' HP when attacking. I would personally just run him on HP attack. Call it a day on him. And you got your Fire Wildfang. Are you investing into her at all?
Not yet, no.
Come on, man. She has a Super Evo coming up. I mean, you're not ready for Super
That's
Evo,
a good point.
but eventually. Very good self-sustainer. You could run her crit rate attack, triple attack, HP attack. You could run her however you like. Just give her attack gems, please, and she heals herself perfectly fine. Like she does a really good job. She can, I think Evo 2, Fire, Wild Fang, with some decent gems can solo B9. Is it fast? No, but if that was like the only mon that you have, and you're trying to do B9, I mean, she can get the job done by herself. But I would invest in her in the future if you need like a good fire attacker, which you might need at this point in time.
Yeah.
Any plans for your fire Lupin?
No.
Good, because he needs a square slot for his defense down, and he doesn't have a square slot. Not the end of the world, but he's at Evo 2, so you didn't invest in him, so not a big deal. And then Fire Tiger. Any plans for Fire Tiger?
No, not really. I just think they look really cool.
Yeah. I'm working on a wood one right now because I'm like, dude, he doesn't look that bad. Let me go ahead and try this dude out. Let me go ahead and try him out. And then your Victoria, obviously you're gonna feed that to your light Nike, I hope.
Yeah, for sure.
Nah,
Just
man.
One more. Just
nah,
one
man.
more.
Just
and she's there.
feed your light, not your light Nike, but your light Victoria into the fire one, man. That's what all the pros do, man. That's what all the pros do. Then they get to B10 and they're like, oh, I don't know how to do this. Neza, I mean, Yaksha, Jean, John, whatever, Jacob. That looks like that's about it for your Mon box, unless you have any questions about any of the other fire dudes that you have at the moment. Because it looks like you're just trying to evolve some, maybe for gems. Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, mostly.
Yeah, a whole bunch of Nat 2s and common Nat 3s. Nothing wrong with that. So I guess let's go ahead and check out some potential teams for you. For golems.
Great.
Oh, you did
Kind of
get
what I
the,
was looking forward to.
you did get the 54 on Tower of Chaos. I'm actually surprised you got that high. Congrats, man.
Thank you.
Not
I'm not
underestimating
entirely incompetent.
you. Not underestimating you, bud. I'm actually surprised.
I appreciate that.
I'm assuming this is your, let me go to B8 first. This is your B8 comp, right?
Yes.
Alright. And what's your average runtime? Do you know off the top of your hand? It takes you more than a minute for B8?
Yeah, it does take me slightly more than a minute. The range is actually pretty wide. Sometimes I'm able to do it in like a minute 15. Sometimes it takes like a minute 40.
Might be due to just some animations. You can keep Artemis in there. I mean, she does have sap, but if you do build her more attack based, I'm not sure if she's one-shotting mobs already, but she should be close to one-shotting mobs anyway, so not a big deal. And you mentioned Hohenheim having a very, very slow animation, so we can go ahead and have her kick rocks. I'm not sure about Vampire's animations. Are they quick?
They don't seem to be that bad. I think they're always done. That animation's always finished before Hohenheim's is.
Okay, so I mean, you can keep him in there. It's not a big deal if you want to continue using him. And then I would just slip in the other Mona when you can.
Great.
And if you don't want to use Vamp for whatever reason, go ahead and slide him in, man. Where's he at? Go ahead and slide Dark Fib in there, man.
Awesome.
Go ahead and slide him in there. Once you get your Monas up, especially level 60, Evo 3, and booked up, your time should come down. I mean, I'm not gonna say it's a minute, but you should be pretty darn close to a minute, if not even less. Because Dark Fib has pretty fast animation, and I mean Artemis should be one-shotting the waves anyways. And it looks like Oh My Gigs did mention bringing in Water Merlin as potentially part of your B8 squad. The only issue with that though is if you do investing later on in the game into another Merlin, obviously he's going to be gone, which is why I didn't really mention him.
Okay.
But for now, if it works, it works. But this should drop your time down a lot. I can't say enough that definitely at least getting them 2 monos up low 60 and booked up. I can't say enough, man. Like, if you ain't running B8 and making money, you ain't doing nothing in this game. Cause
yeah, sure.
You're broke. You're broke.
Yeah. I'm liking Panda over here saying everyone should just build 4 monos.
Panda's been throwing out some knowledge. I'm sure you've joined other streams. Panda's been holding it down, man.
Yeah, Panda does seem to be the all-knowing guru of this community.
I'm waiting for Panda's YouTube videos, man. I'm in the wrong business.
Yeah, Panda, get on it, you coward.
Alright, for B7, obviously Arthur, your Wood Shiva, since he is Evo 2. Boltwing, no. I want to say Dark Fib. I'm trying to fight it, man. I'm trying to fight it.
You don't really need to fight it. I'll build if it means that much to you. I'll build it.
I'm just a horrible contender over here because I'm just supporting my boy, the Dark Fib life. You could bring in Wood Valk or your Wood Odin, even though you eventually end up feeding her. And if you need a healer, of course, and some DPS, congratulations, you got Dark Fib right there. Trying to see if you had. If not, you could throw in Water Siren as heals, because maybe your DPS just isn't enough to clear it without anyone dying. Which is okay for now. That's okay for now, as long as you can get those gems. But it looks like that might be about it for your mod box at the moment.
Yeah.
What up, Kalex? What's good, man? Yes, we're making a B7 team. You do have, what was it? Wood Banshee, though, as well. I forgot to mention that one. If you choose to invest in her. Because if you choose to invest...
I mean...
what were you saying?
I'm just saying that, yeah, I mean, if I can... Especially if I can get her to Evo 3, I would definitely use her.
If you were to invest in her, then you should be able to pretty much... As long as they're Evo 2, level 60 with 4 5-star gems on them, then you should hopefully be able to run without a DP, not a DPS, but without a healer. So you could bring in any other DPS that you want. Again, I'm not saying bring in Dark Fib, but if you want to, go ahead. If not, at this point, it wouldn't really matter too much who you choose to bring in, because your time should be pretty close to the same.
I'm taking notes, and I put Dark Fibian on the list anyway.
Aw, come on, man. You can come back to the stream too, because sometimes this is just an overload of information.
Well, hey, I mean, at least it'll be recorded.
Yeah. At least I won't have to do it again. I mean, I don't mind doing it again, but there's a world outside this window. I have other things to do. Look, I have a cat in the background. Think about him. Think about him.
Yeah, no, I do. I understand. I have 2 cats.
You got 2?
2, yeah.
Boy or girls?
1 of each.
Ho. Do you have any preference, or are they both? How would I put this? My cat is, I would say, he's a lovely piece of crap. I would say that. Like, he lovely.
That's apt. That's apt.
Lovely piece of crap.
I would absolutely agree. Those are my cats. I have had to clean up cat vomit 3 days in a row.
What happened? They ate something they're not supposed to?
Oh, no, Maybe. Honestly, I don't know.
And Kalex, I didn't know you have a cat, man. I want to see a picture of that cat. Yeah, dude. I've had a dog for the longest, and this is like my first cat. And some days I'm just like, what have I done? What have I done? What have I done to deserve this? What have I done? And then other days, like he's just sleeping on a cat tree, like he's not even here. I'm just like, okay, this is the cat that I wanted. Until they get the crazies.
Low maintenance pets are great.
Until they get the crazies, then after that, like 9 o'clock, this dude, he's just like, he's stretching right now. I know the stream's delayed, but he gets that hunch in his back. His eyes start getting what is it? His pupils start dilating or whatever, and I'm like, oh god, yeah. Here it comes. Here it comes.
The monster has awoken.
Just running around everywhere, getting into stuff. All right, for your B9 team though, you can definitely bring in your Fire Valk. Bring in Zoo for now. Oh, Kalex sent a picture of his cat. I had to check it out. Oh, look at her. She's precious. It is precious. I don't want to offend any non-binary kittens watching this live stream. You could bring in Fire Miho, but is she really going to help you? No. You could also bring Odin in to kind of debuff. Nothing wrong with that. But really, in my opinion, I wouldn't bring Fire Odin in here. I would try to build up your other succubus for your B9 team.
Okay, I can do that.
Yeah, I would build in your other succubus because she has defense down for her 5-star, which is an AoE, which is always great. And then you could possibly bring in Wildfang if you choose to invest into her. And when a day comes for you to get rid of Zoo, you can always pop someone else in. I'm not going to say who you could pop in. I'm not going to say it, but you could pop that thing in. If not, I mean, at this point, it really doesn't matter. I would just say bring in another DPS. If you wanted to, you could bring in like Nike, but I would just say try and bring in a fire DPS.
Yeah, all right.
But, I mean, that's an event that once Zoo leaves, because you might get rid of her. You might pull a wood one and be like, girl, bye.
I have a wood one.
Yeah. But that should be pretty much a good, solid B9 team. Badass Panda is saying Zoo is one of the best fire DPS that is not a Sea Striker. But you do have Wood Zoo, which is a Sea Striker, so rest in peace, Zoo. And Kalex also mentioned, I'm sure you have chat up, but mentioned Merlin. But again, not putting him in there because if one day you pull a Wood one, he's going to be gone anyways.
Yeah.
But again, at the end of the day, man, this is just advice. That's all it is.
Yeah, I'll take what I can get, honestly.
That's all it is. I'm sure you tell students, hey man, go home and do your homework or you're not going to do good in this class. And they're like, okay. Comes in next 2 weeks later, like has a test, fails it. And you're just like, it was just advice.
Yeah, that's absolutely true.
Like, I just have no word. It was just advice, man. But yeah, these are just templates that you could use. You could run it. Feel free to change 1 or 2 mons. Nothing wrong with that.
I mean, we're not that far away from another festival, right?
Nope. We do have Clans Fest in like less than a week, but I think Merlin is in the Heroes Fest egg only.
Oh, you're right.
And Kalex is right. I mean, you could invest in him now and get rid of him later. Not a big deal.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And then for the B10 squad, obviously we're going to be running in Light Nike. I'm not sure. Anyone chat know if Light Miho is viable for B10? Is she maybe not tanky enough? Not saying use like Light Miho, but for science.
They could always experiment.
For science. But definitely bring in Light Nike. Once you get Light Odin, you can switch them out. It doesn't really matter. But then after that, I would bring in either your Loki with the sap or your Water Artemis with the sap, if I can find either or of them. Maybe Artemis is over here. And yeah, they're saying Light Miho is viable for B10, which is great if someone out there accidentally, you know, started the game and was like, Light Victoria, she sucks, let me feed her. Like, but they did get a Light Miho. At least they do have a chance without having to have like a great DPS team to do B10.
Yeah.
You could bring in Artemis. Succubus is another great contender because if she gets hit, she can sustain herself by healing, and then she does have defense down as well. Obviously, your Succubus with a square slot, not this one.
Yeah.
And then at that point, if you did at least build your Water Merlin, you could use him as a wave clearer because of his elemental edge. You could pick up a Fire Siegfried as a wave clearer, but obviously a Siphon set would be best. We do have Sarah. Maybe we have Sarah returning or Tina returning. I don't know. I'm not for sure. But Badass Panda is mentioning your Fire Sanzang as a pseudo purse, I guess, right now for passive heals.
Okay.
So you could definitely run this comp. Obviously, especially with B10, I would say plus 12 gems. Get your Mons Evo 2 level 60 minimum before you even think about going up in here.
That's a lot of gold.
But I wouldn't say it's worth the cost. Sometimes it's worth it. Sometimes I'm just like, B10's a scam.
Yeah.
But this is in-game golems right here. But that's just one of the potential comps that you could run.
Great.
And Badass Panda, man. Badass Panda, he's over here judging Fire Loki. If this
He's
dude
throwing some serious shade.
If this dude wants to use Fire Loki, man, let him use Fire Loki. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that, man. You can use whoever you want. And
I'd probably wind up using Artemis either way.
yeah. So use Artemis instead. They're also mentioning yeah, so Sanzang would nullify Succubus, but I don't know that much about Sanzang because I didn't use her. But you could bring in another damage dealer like Kalex is mentioning. And then who else? I want to say it, man, but you don't got to do it. You don't got to do it, man.
I don't gotta put the Dark Frog on the table.
Yeah, you don't got to. You don't got to, but you just need another hard-hitting DPS, preferably a Mon that is either Dark, an attacker type, or a Mon with Hunter. I mean, if you wanted to, you could even bring in Wood Shiva because of the Predator on him. You shouldn't really need stuns anyways. You could bring Arthur, but he doesn't really bring damage. He's more utility.
Yeah.
Misha doesn't do any damage unless it has no HP, but Sanzing will just destroy that idea.
Yeah, that's kind of been my biggest reservation with the Dark Misha. I just, like, for PvP, obviously that makes sense, but like for PvE, I'm just thinking like, well, yeah, okay, it does more damage the more damage it takes. But I don't want it to take damage because I need it to stay alive the whole time.
Yeah, what's the point of you doing all this damage with no HP when you're dead? Like, there's no point. But, yep, you could just find another DPS. You might end up pulling a pretty decent mon. So, I mean, if you do, please let me know. But just bring in another form of DPS since you don't technically need Succubus and you do have Sanzing, so you can kind of go more offensive. You could throw in Mona, one of your fully booked up Monas, but she probably should have an HP gem just to be safe. I wouldn't really recommend Dark Miho, because she's not there for damage. You could build her with damage, but is it worth it at this point in time when you're just trying to get gems for these mons? No.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But again, you can throw in Dark Fib, you could throw in Water Merlin, you can throw in Fire Merlin because that dude has Hunter. But right now, that's pretty much all that I could recommend for you. Once you get them up, your clear time should go down. I don't imagine this team taking you more. It should take you less than 2 minutes. I would say maybe a minute and a half, maybe a little bit more, but that's not a big deal until you pull other mons and you end up letting go of Light Nike and end up letting go of Sanzing and just running 2 sappers and 2 DPS.
I look forward to it.
Yeah, but those are your potential B10 teams with the mons that you have. And again, all of these teams, you can look back on it, but at least part of them you could always chuck over to dragons once you get to dragons. The later dragons, at least, you may need to switch 1 or 2 out. You may need a fire cupid or just a fire healer like your Syrah for dragons instead. But for the most part, some of the mons that you already invested in, you're still going to be using later on, which is good to know.
All right.
But I mean, I think that's pretty much it for now. The main gripe here is get that B8 team down, invest in leveling up some more mons, especially with Sonic coming pretty soon. There's no excuse as to why we can't have more level 60s, even though it is time consuming and costly at this point in time.
Boy, I have very, very mixed feelings about the Sonic crossover.
Come on, man. I personally, I mean, I grew up playing Sonic, like Sonic Adventure 2 Battle, Sonic Heroes and
same.
stuff. Like, I know Sonic.
Dude,
What were you saying?
I unabashedly love Sonic, and yes, that's probably partly because I have autism, but I still really like Sonic, so I'm okay with it in that sense. And I do really want to see this game get more players. But yeah, actually, you know what? No, I don't have mixed feelings. There's no reason to be negative about this. Yeah, I'm excited. This is gonna be great.
Like, okay, I know the whole spiel of Sonic 06 or whatever was not that good. I played Unleashed, I played Colors. They were fine games, and the stuff that they do now with Sonic. Say what?
I'm gonna tell you what. I kind of love Sonic 06 only because it's so bad. It's kind of this artistic masterpiece of just how bad a video game can be, and I find that enthralling.
That's definitely an interesting philosophy. I can't really fight you on that. I mean, I would prefer I would play Sonic, what is it, DX?
Oh, yeah.
The one where when they talk, it's not like the little side mouth thing, it's like the whole entire jaw.
Yeah, dude, that creeps me out.
But I mean, Sonic has unfortunately had a very checkered past, and I know nowadays he's like garbage in the eye of media, but at least MSO is getting some support. I mean, if they had to put anything in there, would Sonic be my first choice though with monsters? Probably not, but we'll just have to see how the event goes before like I either enjoy this or regret this.
I would definitely have preferred Digimon, but Sonic is still cool.
And in theory, Digimon would have fit better since they're Digivolutions.
A lot better, yeah. That. Dang it! Now I just wish I could have had a War Greymon in this game.
Yeah. Yeah, Digimon would potentially work a lot better. I mean, they do change form and they can go back to their other form, but you never do that anyways unless you Super Evo. But I'm just curious to see how the Sonic evolutions are going to look. Is it just going to be different poses for them?
Just different poses.
Yeah, like are we going to have like baby 8-bit, 24-bit, whatever, the old school Sonic with the side scrolling, and then is he going to be like, is he going to be like the 3D baby Sonic, and then is he going to be like full 3D?
I can actually totally understand. So we get old Sonic for Evo 1, modern Sonic for Evo 2, and then Super Sonic for Evo 3.
Like, I mean, I don't think they're going to do it. It's just too much, I guess, designing and animation wise for it, unfortunately. But I mean, if they did do it, it would be pretty cool.
Unfortunate.
But
yeah,
I do agree with Kalex though. Like, I think Yu-Gi-Oh even would have been a greater choice. I mean,
oh yeah, dude, that would have been great.
I mean, I'll take some of the elemental heroes back with, what was it, like Jade and Yuki and all them dudes back in the day.
GX.
Yeah, dude, that was hands down the best Yu-Gi-Oh in my opinion, man.
Oh, I don't agree with that, but yeah, GX.
You don't agree with that?
No, I like the first series better.
The first doesn't count, man.
What do you mean the first doesn't count?
That's for everything. Everyone says the first is always the best.
Oh, okay. Well, no, I don't hold to the first is always the best.
Okay.
The first is not always the best. Sometimes the first is kind of the worst, at least in a relative.
Understandable. As long as you have it from that perspective. Like, the first got me into it, but GX, man, I don't know. Maybe it was just the tie-in of like new cards and kind of new ways to use them, and not to mention, I don't know.
That's pretty exciting.
I think what sold it for me was Jaden. At least was more. Jaden, at least for me, was more. What's the word? Like relatable than Yugi was. Growing up.
Yeah, no, I mean, Jaden goes to school. Yugi fights ancient evil spirits for Egyptian artifacts. Yeah, I can see how that would be a little more relatable.
And he likes, he turns from this like kid to like this, I guess you could call him adult Yami, and he's like all of a sudden this just entirely different person. While Jaden's like just this like high school kid, but he has like friends from all groups. He has like the popular chick with the blonde hair, then he has his goofy friends, and they're like, hey dude, we're all equal. Like, I don't care about your status. We're just friends. I don't know.
That's really cool. Yeah, dude, I'd love to stay on here and talk about Yu-Gi-Oh for hours, but I do have other things to do.
Yeah, I got you. But if you have any questions, I can answer them. If not, I mean, we're pretty much done here, dude.
Yeah. Actually, I do have one more question before we go.
Okay.
Do you think it would be a good idea for me to just just burn my Astro Gems getting energy refills to go through the dungeons as much as I can, or should I be saving up for the next festival?
I would say do that. Don't worry about Clans Fest. I mean, are you in a clan right now?
I am in a clan.
Don't worry about Clans Fest because number 1, you don't have enough Astro Gems, and number 2, if you can't run B8, especially run B8 with a good time, then everything else you do in the game is just null and void because you're going to run out of money. You can't get more Astro Gems via sliming and evolving mons because you don't have any money.
Yeah.
You can't raise your mons for faster times because you have no money. You can't do gems because you don't have faster money. So yeah, definitely invest inside the B8 first.
All right.
Even if you burn it down to the ground, you should have a stable B8 team that's coming in near a minute with the energy. I mean, not the energy that you have, but with the Astro Gems that you have, and that in turn already is going to benefit you from here on out.
Okay, perfect.
But I think that's pretty much it. Any more questions, or was that it?
No, that should be all.
All right. I can definitely let you go now. Of course, log out of your account. Probably not here because it is the internet. But if you have any more questions, please let me know. And of course, you can change your password and all that. I don't want it. I don't want it.
All right, great. I'll take care of that. Thank you.
But yeah, that's pretty much it, dude. Thank you for allowing me to use your account. I definitely hope I assisted you at least in some faction.
Oh yeah, you've been extremely helpful.
And
I'm already excited to get back in and get started.
And don't forget to check out the chat too, because Badass Panda, Kalex, all them dudes dropping knowledge. But that's pretty much it. But let me go ahead and let you go, dude. Again, thank you, and I'll catch you later, man.
All right, see you around, Elio.
All right, you guys. That's it for this review. I definitely enjoyed the Yu-Gi-Oh talk as well, and again, shout out to Badass Panda and Kalex, Massacre, Chrono Music, even though I haven't been talking that much. Nicole, even anyone that joined into the chat today, thank you guys for hanging out with your boy. Well, at this point in time, it was boys, but thank you for hanging out with us, and I'll see you guys later. Thank you for stopping by. Peace out.